This is Lorraine. I'm recording the vandalism of the fifth room, sunroom. The real estate mobbers have been entering the residence and picking apart this floor. They're pouring some substance on it. They're picking at the wood. This room is rarely used, and when it is, people do not enter with shoes. I do have cats that do not damage furniture or floors, and this kind of damage is not indicative of a cat walking. Some of it has been filled in by me, as you can see. I tried to repair it, but the scrapes and scratches are indicative of a human, because there are X's and swirls and cuts and slices that are not indicative of even a dog. And dogs' back legs, nails can be very damaging to a floor. But I'm showing you a floor that's a few years old. This room is rarely used. Often the door is closed, and some substance is continuously poured. Oh, and I did actually taste one of the substances, and sugar water has been poured on the floor, including something else that they're trying to pass off as cat urine, but actually I think it's human urine. And they're pouring it across the entire floor, from left to right, which is not even something an animal, cat, dog, would do. And cats have no interest in urinating on a hardwood floor. And you can see here is one of those circles. There are circles of kind of sugar water or some substance that has been poured all over the floor. I added some baking soda to absorb some of the moisture. They're in here on a daily basis. I'm not going to say who the people are, but they're real estate mobbers, not real estate flippers. They go into homes and vandalize them. They're professional criminals, sort of like, the mob that you read about historically online. But these are basically young people. They're opportunists, they're stealth, they employ technology, and they can be flippers, real estate flippers, or they claim that they're flippers, but they're not. They're hired hitmen and women. They're entire families, groups of people. As you can see, the floor here, and you see a dot there. There are lots of dots all over the place, and yes, I took the opportunity to taste one and on the hallway, and it is sugar water indeed. And you can see the way the floor is being picked apart, and then after they pick it apart, they're applying some substance to it. And this is the one in particular, this area ironically under a chair. The chair's not wet. The chair's not wet, only the floor. And it's being poured on. And even if a cat were to pee, cats don't pee this much. And they don't go in the middle of a floor. But these people are pouring something. I wiped it up. It does not smell like cat urine at all. I don't know what it is. It could be human urine. Just like the human shit that was in my yard, validated, not by the police officer, by the way, but validated by my pressure washer guy, who happened to have been here to clean the gates that were vandalized. They were slashed. But you can see somebody has been systematically pouring some substance on here to intentionally darken the wood, damage it, because they think that they're going to buy my house at a low price. But actually, if my house doesn't sell in a couple of months, just the way, I worked it last year, I'll take it off the market and be here a whole nother year living next door to the criminals that are doing this, because I could be gone 40 minutes, maybe an hour at the most, and it has to be somebody who's really close by, who's monitoring my every move. Now, as some of you know, I have been caring for a feral cat colony at the Pine Brook Care Center at the corner of Pension Road and Pine Brook for the last 16 years. There's been a lot of vandalism there, and the vandalism now has carried over to my home. And this has been employed by animal activist groups, names of which I will not mention on this video. But if you do some research into what had transpired in 2013 to present, you'll get a glimpse of who may or may not be involved. They are adept at concealing. You see this slice here in the floor? This is something else they do. They did this upstairs. They'll go into the hardwood floor grain and start to separate and pick at it where it didn't exist before. So I am documenting this, and because I already had the insurance company here examine the floor and an inspector. So between that time and now, these people have been here on a very regular basis because they know that soon I will not be going to the Pine Brook Care Center to care for the colony cats anymore. As you know, we received a legal eviction notice after 16 years to remove the cats. We found out that one of the groups involved in sabotaging the colony went behind our back to management and paid them to kick me out. And they're also paying for the attorney. Yes, if you could believe that somebody could be so evil and cruel to evict a bunch of happy cats living in a wooded area, the only home they've ever known, just to cover up the biggest scandal amongst animal rescue in the state of New Jersey. Yes, indeed, it involves police officers. It involves rescue people, attorneys, and local government is aware of some of the things that have been happening. And then, of course, we've got the people doing this, the people hired to do this. They're hired to move in near the victim. In this case, I am considered the victim. I was targeted. My home was targeted. I'm targeted, one, because I'm a single female. There isn't somebody here to validate my experience. If I were either a man or married, this would not be happening. And people who I've discussed this with agree. Except, of course, the mayor of Manalapan, who I spoke to when I mentioned the discrimination. Ironically, he said he'd never heard of that before. Well, Mayor, get with the program. Discrimination exists. Sexual discrimination exists. Age discrimination. Religious discrimination. Their discrimination still exists. Oh, and also for the police department, I don't really give a fuck about your opinion. When I give you the facts, I want the facts written. I don't want your opinion. Your opinion doesn't matter to me. Unless you have a doctorate in psychology, which you do not, don't even venture an opinion about my state of mind. My state of mind, actually, is one of anger. Right now, anger. Not fear. Appalling. I am absolutely appalled as a taxpayer that I have to deal with this in my home. and that there's no protection offered to me. The only thing you're protecting are the people coming into my home and doing this damage. It's a huge scandal. It happened in Seattle. It happens all over the country. But it is not going to continue to happen to me, and I am not going to keep my mouth shut. How about that? Y'all happy about that? Y'all happy you targeted me, Lorraine Valenti, 52 Sutton Drive in Manalapan? I am not selling my house to you. I am not even going to move. I mean, because actually everything you do here is preventing me from moving. Now, that may or may not be your goal. Either preventing me from moving. I think you really want me to move, but you want to get my house at a low price. But that's not going to happen. Because what is going to happen is I'm going to give up selling my house and just fucking stay here. I'm just going to stay. So signing off for today, for everybody, for all the little hidden cameras that you've plopped around my house, all the little holes you've punctured in the walls. I am done. I am not going to be nice. And I am not moving. Mayor, I mentioned it to you on the phone. I am not moving until there is an investigation and that whoever damaged my house is caught. And there is going to be retribution. Signing off. Now I'm truly signing off.